This image was captured on November 17th by Francis Kugel, who published these images of 3 IATLAS, combining 22 exposures of 30 seconds each. This was taken with a 0.4 meter aperture telescope. That's shown in this image and another one released today. This was taken yesterday. Images from the 16th and the 17th show several surprising things about 3 IATLAS. Let's go into the details of what is known at this moment. But well, this object keeps surprising us because it's revealing details that are leaving the experts perplexed. The photographs were taken and show multiple jets of material shooting out in different directions, even toward the sun. For example, several of the jets that are being shown pointing toward the sun are actually deviating about 30 degrees from the sun. It's changing its path, it's changing. On this comet, Saturn, Murata and Francis Kugel would have taken these photographs. 2 amateur astrophotographer astronomers, by the way, managed to clearly capture these jets using telescopes with only 2 and 0.4 meters of aperture, respectively. Sharp images that compete with those from space agencies. This is truly amazing. It's a time when the best photos are coming from amateurs. Where are those big observatories that would be pointing at the comet? Where are they? Why aren't they showing the images of the highest quality that we're expecting? All weekend, several expected images weren't uploaded. Were more images expected today that still haven't been uploaded? And these are some of the best images we've seen taken with very small telescopes. What have they managed to capture? Amateur astronomers who do what they do as a hobby? And that an astrophysicist of Avilo's level and other astrophysicists have been analyzing the images from these amateur astronomers? Due to the lack of material, the lack of those big and extremely expensive telescopes, they have managed to get this, or should be getting more and more material, more images, and more. Absolutely nothing, not even light. To the largest telescopes. There are many small observatories, in communities, in places out there, in universities, etc. Where are those materials as well? Why aren't they being published? The direction of the jets, as they appear like an anti-tail, some of them, and others like a permanently collimated tail. This leads scientists to ask the big question, why is this comet behaving this way? Is it a natural activity or is it something else? Professor Avilo, director of the Galileo project, has been a leading voice in suggesting we consider alternative possibilities. But it hasn't been confirmed or anything. The universe keeps surprising us. The improbable is not impossible. They say his ideas would be focused on trying to analyze it with an open mind. Loeb has received several letters from different parts of the world asking him questions about the behavior of the comet and how these jets seem more and more like something controlled. Are we seeing something artificial, or is this just speculation? The object did not disintegrate when it approached the sun, but it has come out, it has kept releasing material and more material, which is shown in the tails. All that material that has come out, in theory, should have weakened and diminished the comet. Its brightness should have decreased. It should have already broken apart into pieces. There are 2 groups that are forming more and more. Astrophysicists who are asking for more data, and to be patient, cautious, and others who claim that this object is going to help us redefine the universe. Thank you. Even some people in that group are claiming that maybe what we're seeing is something, well, let's say with artificial characteristics. Although they don't dare to say anything more, right? They just say that for now. The most important thing about the multiple jets this object has is the way they're happening. Now the next measurement will be the speed of the jets. This speed will be a turning point in terms of information. If this speed is like a typical comet, as expected, with the chemical reaction, right? Near the sun, that's where it should be as expected. And if its reaction speed is much higher, then we would be talking about something that would have to be artificial, because chemical reactions are the same here or in other parts of the universe. We know that if it's already been possible to study for decades how different types of chemicals react, and we already know what chemicals this comet has, then its reaction can't be superior to other comets. You would simply expect the same amount of reaction in terms of its energy. Projecting there causes the comet to accelerate. It already has several unusual aspects from that point, especially because of the fact that they claim this as well. Is there debate about the turns or not? What is the comet doing? Because it's claimed that the comet has been a very controlled comet, or a very controlled object. First, it was spinning every 16 hours, yet everything should be out of control, but it's not. It was just making very precise turns. And then it stayed without spinning for 1,000,000 kilometers. The last 1,000,000 kilometers have basically gone without spinning. If this is confirmed, well, it would be something extreme. I mean, it would be quite a coincidence if the energy jets could stabilize an object like that, right? I mean, if it's gonna be hard for an engineer to do this, just imagine nature itself stabilizing it on its own. Normally, comets are out of control, spinning around, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but they're spinning in this case? No, at least that's what is believed, because there's still more research needed on the nucleus. There are still doubts, even about the nucleus, but how do they know it's not spinning if the nucleus can't be seen? 100%, very easy. With the jets, they're showing if the jet is spinning or if the jet is coming out from the same angle, from the same point. It shows there's either a very slow spin or no spin at all right now. But I insist, well, more calculations are still being done. This will be reviewed. We expect an avalanche of information between now and December 19, and we're currently waiting for it. I was waiting for a few hours to see if the expected material would arrive. So far it hasn't happened yet. Let's hope to have more news for you this afternoon about this supposed avalanche of information that should already be coming out. And here, well, to give you all the information, all the details. In the meantime, on paper, what is shown, the data, it's just that there's something so unusual, so atypical about all its characteristics, that more and more of the scientific community is saying, well, this is starting to sound more and more like something else. That's the part that has caught my attention so far. But let's move on to other important matters. Where are the images from these large telescopes? Why do amateurs have to be the ones sharing these images? Well, let's move on to other important information.